Now, if I do this, is it going to make the difference? Or is this so broken that even me spending hours on it isn't going to make it unbroken?
How do you set those priorities? Because it seems like there's so many tasks. They're all important. Everything's on fire. How do I set my sights on what matters right this second?
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to give you a good answer because it feels somewhat intuitive. And I can't tell whether it is something that has to be intuitive or it's purely because I've been doing it for so long. But if you can't do it intuitively, you can actually do an active triage on all of these things. And triage, for those of you who don't know, is from the French, but it's basically dividing things into thirds, but it comes from World War I, where on the battlefield, the injuries from this new mechanized combat were so horrendous that it really overwhelmed the medical response. And so the doctors would do triage and they would divide the injured into three groups. They'd have one group which were so badly injured that no matter what intervention they did, they were going to die anyway. There was another group which were maybe badly injured, but these injuries weren't life threatening, that even if they didn't do anything, they were probably going to survive. But there was a small group in the middle that if they paid attention to them, it would make the difference between life or death. And it's such a great metaphor for the startup world that if you say you've got 100 things burning on fire, I can kind of intuitively guess what are the two or three things that I need to work on. But you may have to start going through them in turn and go, okay, invoicing. Now, if I don't get that right, is it existential? No, the crappy system probably is adequate. How about this part, the product? How about my sales? How about go through each of the things that you think is on your list of stuff that has to get done and actively ask yourself, now, if I do this, is it going to make the difference? Or is this so broken that even me spending hours on it isn't going to make it unbroken? This is broken, but it's okay. Not paying attention to it, it's not going to harm the business. But this thing, is this something that if I focus on it, this could make the difference between whether my company makes it or doesn't make it? And then once you've figured out what those two or three things are, again, blinders on, full speed ahead, focus on those. Thanks for watching. And if you liked what you saw, I'd love you to subscribe. And if you want to be notified of my future releases, well, you know the drill. Just hit the bell.